Waiters, what's the saddest I'm waiting for someone you have experienced? Before we go with the first story, please hit a subscribe and ring the notification bell to stay updated with us. Number 10. I used to work birthdays at a science museum. So one weekend, the birthday family arrives, I escort them back to their room as usual, and start talking with the mom about how she wants things to go, setting up the room, etc. She mentions that they just moved here and her son doesn't have many friends yet. So they invited one cousin about their son's age, and then just invited the kid's entire, second grade maybe, class to the party. An hour goes by and the little cousin has shown up, but nobody else. The little dude invited every kid in his class and not one of them showed up. Now, to be honest, the birthday boy himself didn't seem that concerned. He and his cousin were happily playing with each other the whole time. I just don't think he was really that warmed up to the kids in his class to begin with. But the mom was heartbroken. She had set this party up for her son, had bought a birthday package that included a private room, general admission for all guests, and me taking a dewar of liquid nitrogen to the room and making ice cream for the party. She had high hopes for this, and nobody showed, and she was in tears. And she asked me to go out the museum and just invite random kids into her son's birthday party, just so that there would be at least some other kids for him to play with. And this is the part that I'll never forget. We found a half dozen kids who were interested in coming to the party, and the mom was very grateful to them. But word also got out to the staff, and the staff absolutely rallied around this kid. Other employees showed up to sing him happy birthday. Some staffers went to the gift shop to buy him gifts. One of my managers got the family vouchers for future admission. We have a mascot, a robot, who will walk around and play with guests, and he showed up to the party with some gifts from our gift shop. I brought down the materials for making a couple of different types of homemade slime and made slime with the kids. One of my coworkers, one of the smartest and kindest people I've ever met, spoke with the mom about the son's interests and discovers the birthday boy is a fan of the Avengers. So he goes back to where we have a laser etcher on display and comes back with a wood burning that is a picture of the Avengers wishing the son happy birthday. By the end of the party, the mom was in tears again, but for a very different reason. A few days later, she sent us the sweetest letter about how much it all meant to her. I worked 3 to 5 birthdays a weekend, every weekend, for about 5 years, and they were always fun. But that was the absolute best day at work I've ever had. Number 9. I was actually a hostess at the time, and I was asked to take the table for a server. An old man came in asking for a table of 6 and he asked for 6 waters. I set up his table and I put his order in. He said it was his birthday. He was there for about an hour or two and nobody showed up. It was really sad. He ended up tipping me like $30 and he said sorry for the trouble. I still think about that guy. I hope he's doing okay. Number 8. I was a server for 5 years and the most heartbreaking experience I had was an older woman, probably in her 60s, was waiting for her grandson to come meet her for lunch. When I greeted her at the table, she was very excited as I assumed she didn't see him much. As time went by, no one showed up, so she decided to order. Towards the end of her meal, no one had shown up, so it being a slow shift, me and Mike, we worked together at the same restaurant, which is where we met, decided to just talk with her for a little bit and give her some company. We both felt so sad for this sweet old lady, but we could tell that simple act of kindness made her day. Shame on that grandson. Number 7. A 6-year-old boy came every day with his older brother at lunchtime, and for almost a month they ordered 3 plates of food and always left one. When I attended to them, the boy told his older brother to ask his mother for lunch because she was already arriving, but their mother never came. The boy's older brother asked me to give the food to someone who needed it when they left, and he told me that his mother had died and that he did not know how to explain to his little brother that his mother was not coming back, but that this cafeteria, it was the last place where she had taken her little brother to eat, and that is why the boy believed that she would return for the dinner. Number 6. Okay, this story did not happen to me, but to my friend. My friend was a manager, still is at a pretty fancy restaurant. She was working during Valentine's Day. A guy walks in, pretty nicely dressed, but not too nicely, kind of nervous. He walked to a table for 2. Since it was Valentine's, the restaurant did its best to give off a romantic atmosphere. Rose on the table, love-themed dessert, etc. The guy orders water and starts to wait. When the waiter tries to take his order, he tells him he is waiting for someone. He waits for an hour, then 2, And then 3. Each time sending checks his phone, trying to call someone. After a while, my friend goes to talk to him. This guy had lost his girlfriend of 6 years. He was 24 at the time. 2 years ago, and it was his first date ever since. After that, she talked to him a bit more about him, how life is, etc., etc. Turns out they had quite a bit in common, so they exchanged contact. A lot happened afterward, but they've been happily married for 2 years now. He is now 30, she is 28. Number 5. Not a waiter, but this happened to me. I went speed dating, turned up to the venue to find it very quiet. Barely anyone was there. The event was on the second floor, so I got a pint for the time being and sat down and waited for people to turn up. I tried to go up to the second floor only to find that it had been closed off. Noticing my confusion, the barman asked if I was there for speed dating. I said yes. He told me it was canceled. I didn't get an email about this, nothing. So I sat there, dressed up and alone. I finished my pint and went home. Number 4. A woman came in 4 nights in a row just in case she got the date wrong. She'd sit at the bar wearing the same flowery dress every night and would hopefully look at the door every single time it opened. Left in tears the first 2 nights when we closed, the third and fourth nights, she just stared vacantly at the door until we had to make sure she left. I never saw her again. I don't think any other staff did either, but we all felt really bad for her. She got a couple free drinks and apps. We didn't even care if it was a scam cause she seemed so broken about it. Number 3. Place I used to work at had a man come in every night for a week, wait for a few hours, order food and drinks, then leave with no one showing up. Later learned he was just trying to cope with his wife's death, believing that she'd arrived to greet him at the restaurant where they had their first date. Number 2. Once in my shift I saw a really shy guy. You could see that he is on a budget, but he was so trying so hard and looked so excited about upcoming date. He brought 1 rose and asked what he can purchase on 10 euros to make this evening beautiful. My heart melted so much that I offered him for free 2 glasses of wine and a dessert. I was a manager. We put on a table some candles, and so he was sitting there and with a big smile waiting for his date to come. But she never came. He waited like 2 hours, nervously checking on his phone. When he left, he gave this rose to me and thanked for kindness towards him. He was so broke. So was my heart about this situation. Number 1. I haven't bartended in a million years, but the saddest one was a guy in his 30s. He had a 2-top, asked for a bottle of top-shelf champagne, candles lit, all that. Told me they were celebrating. No one showed. Guy looked morose, but had an appetizer, poured a glass of champagne for the person who wasn't there, then asked for the bill. I felt bad. He obviously got stood up, so I brought him a dessert in the house. He smiled and told me it was his anniversary. My face must have showed my sadness for him, so he clarified his wife died of cancer a few months ago. It may have been the saddest thing I've seen. Alright folks, that's a wrap for today's stories. If you have similar experience with this story, please let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit a thumbs up and subscribe for more interesting story every day. I'll see you in the next video.